Mr. Crafty and Ms. Lang, to
Morning.
review. This is your motion, I believe, Ms. Lang, and I was a little confused about it, but so you want supervised parenting time at Journeys, correct?
We currently are ordered there.
Okay, and nobody wants to pay for it, right?
Correct. And I originally, Judge Gottlieb had authorized, and I do apologize. I didn't list, I just noticed in the email or here from Mr. Dickerson at Friend of the Court, he does specify it's called the AV grant. So I apologize for being vague, but they had authorized use of those funds, but after X amount of, I believe it's a dollar amount, is exhausted, then you have to bring it back. And Mr. Dickerson, I received this email from Mr. Dickerson that said Mr. Charbono, and he recommended I just bring this back to judge or yourself, of course, for that authorization.
Well, and the reason I say that is this. The reason why, and what most of those funds do, is they're temporary, just like supervised parenting time should be at an agency. Usually the hope is that after some time with supervised parenting time at the agency, it can move to something like supervised in the community, stuff like that, where you wouldn't need a grant. And that's why these grants don't last forever. They're very specific with that. So you still feel that we have to have supervised parenting time?
And it is, I'm the party that is supervised. I don't think that they should have ever been supervised, but that's a conversation for another day. However, Judge had ordered a hair follicle test for me to have that done. I have, and that was last summer, and I did, and I've had a very rough year in terms of my health, and that has led to having to change my housing. And I've been in and out of the hospital several times. So I'm concerned that it's not that I have anything to hide, and that's not why I've done it. However, when I reached out to a couple of attorneys and consulted with them, they said, first thing I need to do is get my health and my housing and get in one stable place. And that way, otherwise, if I submit just a hair follicle, I believe that the narrative and the reason for wanting supervised parenting time will then change to stable housing or, one of these other reasons.
The reasons for supervised parenting time not always, one thing or another thing. Sometimes it can be a few things. Sometimes it can be just one. I'm just wondering how long, and maybe Mr. Crafty can answer this for me. You understand what her motion is all about, don't you, Mr. Crafty?
I do. I believe so, sir. She's requesting grants for additional supervised parenting time.
Yeah. I take it you don't have a problem with that.
I don't. No, sir, not at all. That was me waving the children out of the house. Thank you.
Oh, okay. But my question is even broader than that. It's okay. So I grant this. Usually it's the grant pays the first big chunk, and then the parties each pay $10 or something like that, 20 or something. my question is how long, in your view, does this need to continue, or should it be just simply open-ended and continued on in the foreseeable future?
Your Honor, we've had supervised parenting time for a little over 2 years now. Ms. Lang has a history of use of methamphetamine, and the drug test, the hair follicle test, was ordered 1 year ago. Judge Gottlieb put an order in to reduce the cost of that for Ms. Lang. In my opinion, if until Ms. Lang proves that she's not using methamphetamines or other drugs with a hair test, then I have to assume that she's still using that. She mentioned a rough year. It has involved more legal troubles and accusations, some crimes that have been committed. I'm definitely open to supervised parenting time in the community. I don't like driving to journeys every week for this supervised thing. It's a pain in the neck, and supervised in the community would be healthier for the children as well. I do think that that some sort of supervised time is required until Miss Lang proves that she is making healthier life choices for herself and for the boys.
Thank you. Well, first of all, addictions are a rough thing. And I wish nobody ever had to go through that. It's very difficult, and sometimes it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And it's as long as the person is committed to sobriety, it may take some bumps along the way. I get that. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant your motion. We'll reapprove the grant for you, so we can get that started. I can't go retroactive until that date. All I can do is go forward from here. But I want you also, I don't know what your level of communication is. If you're able to talk on the phone, if you're able to email, if you're able to text message, whatever, or send letters. I would like.
We use our family.
Pardon?
We use our family wizard. We're ordered to use our family
Oh,
wizard.
okay. Then I'll grant this, but in the, while this is going on in the meantime, why don't you two start broaching a discussion about the future when these funds run out again, or when the parties feel it's right, and both parties, then maybe it can be supervised in the community, and then you should propose who would do that, and where it should be, and that type of thing. All that should be discussed, but I'll give you kind of some breathing time to do that. And I'll grant your motion to do the grant. I'll think I got to reappropriate that. So we'll go ahead and do that. I want people to have contact with their children. Anything further, Ms. Lang?
No, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Crafty?
I do have, I would like to see some clean drug tests or involvement in some kind of recovery program, and less or preferably no involvement with law enforcement. But yes, I'm open to all these things.
Put that all in your discussions in Family Wizard, because
Yes,
I don't think they're particularly unreasonable. But I also want to see everybody move past, because Journeys was only ever supposed to be a temporary fix until things are done. And I understand, like I said, sometimes you go backwards a little bit, but we'll do it this way. And if you two can at least start the initial discussions about having this supervised in the community and by whom, I agree with Mr. Crafty. It's a lot healthier for the kids, and not as sanitized. No offense to Journeys, they do a wonderful job, but it's a lot different sitting at Journeys than sitting at McDonald's or something.
Certainly.
Okay. Thank you
you.
both. Have a wonderful 4th, and I'll do the order today.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. You did want me to draft that order for you?
No, I do. I'll do it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.